If your office is anything like ours, you'll have the usual things: chair, desk, computer, top banter with your workmates, and maybe a little space on the desk for a coffee cup or pictures of the kids. But if you're a Formula One driver, your workplace, your office, is very, very different. The first difference is that they're not sitting. In order to keep the car's centre of gravity as low as possible for performance reasons, F1 drivers are pretty much lying down. To picture how that feels, next time you're in the bath, lie back and put your feet on the taps. That's the F1 driving position. Once in the the car, their chair is a body-moulded carbon fibre shell, and their computer is these screens. Track action on the left, and on the right, the driver's plan for the session. In this case, practice 1, run 1, what tyre will be fitted, a new hard, what the target tyre temperature is, front and rear, and what the driver has to remember to do on his out lap, his timed lap, and the in lap. As for everything else in the driver's cockpit, over to Kevin Magnussen.
Hey guys, welcome to my workspace or my little office. This little switch is the power switch, I guess you call it. Gonna pop the steering wheel on, basically upshift and downshift on the gearbox. We've got a clutch at the back of the steering wheel, so we don't have any clutch at the pedals. We've got this little adjuster down here that we can pull or press forward. It adjusts the brake balance of the car, so if you have one corner where you need a bit more forward brake balance, you can quickly do that there instead of having to do on the switches on the steering wheel. You just quickly put it forward and do that corner and go back. It looks uncomfortable when you look at it, just a carbon shell, but it's actually really, really comfortable. Quite often, you know, not so much on a race weekend, but especially when we're testing, I tend to fall asleep in the cockpit between runs because it's nice and warm and comfy.
I want to see what your feet do.
All right, I'll try and get this down there. 2 pedals, the throttle and the brake, much like a go-kart really. I took my shoes off because I'm not going to be able to have my shoes on down here because there's this little frame around the pedal. Just because when we go through the corners, your feet tend to kind of want to, you know, come out of the pedal. So there's that little frame to keep your feet in there. So the clutch pedal that usually is out here in a normal car is on your hand on the steering wheel. So you basically just go, you know, throttle and brake.
And when you leave the garage, how much throttle are you putting in?
Just only a tiny little bit. You don't need a lot. You can almost pull away with no throttle in these cars. When you do a start, you probably have about, I'd guess, 20% of throttle, and then you start feeding in the power as you build speed. On the brake, especially compared to a road car, there's really not a lot of. It's very solid and hard, that brake pedal. That's about it.
Very interesting.
You ready to go? Now you can go. You can go drive it.
So that's the anatomy of a driver's cockpit. Their office. Compact, cosy, very busy, but brilliantly bespoke, allowing the F1 drivers to do what they do best.